Uh-oh. I feel like this video is going to be
I
cringy.
just wish there was something I could do for you all, like improve public safety for disabled folks every day, you know?
Okay, it's cringy already. It's cringy. Why is it so pink? Oh, man. I clicked on a cringe video, but we have to watch it. She has a little freaking, what are those things? Sour Patch Kid. She's got a Sour Patch Kid plushie. I won't be here tomorrow. I work. All the pink. It's so pink. If you walk into a girl's house, chat, if you're ever dating a girl and you walk into their chat, or if you walk into their house and it's just pink, run. Run. Get the hell out of there. Pink strawberry shortcake threw up in that room. Yeah. Hands over mask. What?
Oh, no thank you. Anyways,
Huh?
For those of you who are confused, no, this masking video is not from 2020. It was released recently, like a month ago, and you have someone who is still saying that.
Please don't tell me you're so devastated. I don't know what that word is. For disabled folks with this bill passing, that if you're still unwilling to wear a mask for us, for what? If you can, and yes, this is passive eugenics, but no, I won't. It won't suddenly make this bill not deadly for disabled folks, but it's low effort action that actually saves lives. Okay, so this person is still living in 2020, when we were trapped inside having to wear masks whenever we went into public. I swear, people, I swear, 2020 melted the brains of so many people because it was like the closest we've ever gotten to like the liberal like world that they want to live in, where they just sit at home and get paid for doing nothing. Like, it's crazy. My walls are hunter green. Okay. My life didn't change for me. I still worked full time. Yeah, a lot of people still worked full time. It's just that these people, they received their $5,000 from the government. Actually, we received like 10,000, didn't we? I didn't receive any money because I was too young. I was 18? No, I was 7. No, I was 18. I was 18 in 2020. I didn't receive any money. Frick. What the hell? We received like 10,000, didn't we? Like, we received at the beginning like 5,000 and then like another 5,000. I think I got one check. I think some people got 2 and some people got 1. That's fucked up. Where's my money?
Everyone has to wear a mask for COVID, because if you don't, then you're a bad person who deserves to be shamed for wanting to live your life normally.
COVID? Do we still have a COVID problem? How many cases of COVID today? How many cases of COVID in 2025? You're not giving me a definitive answer, Google. I don't appreciate that. Google, you're not giving me a total of. Wait. Okay. In the 28-day period from 21 July. Why do you do it like that? July 21st, 2005 to a total of 8,559 reported from 35 different countries. All right. Well, we don't have a COVID problem anymore. I tell you what, I never had COVID, but influenza is about killed me. I had COVID. I did have COVID, and it didn't really mess with me that much. The only problem I had while I had COVID was whenever I was in a car, I was going to throw up. I got motion sick so fast, and it was only in a car, and it was bad. And my dad would still force me to go to the damn store with him, even though I told him I was going to throw up. And I did. I did throw up. He was lucky he pulled over.
Person actually does a lot of masking propaganda, so let's see why.
why do you talk about masks all the time? Because the pandemic never ended. The government just removed emergency status and normalized sacrificing our most vulnerable.
You know, it's weird how they were able to drop the emergency.
All right. That person just said that. I never had COVID. I got sick one time before, had a fever of like 103 for like a week. Holy hell.
Status and everything seems fine. It's almost like the risk of dying from COVID was heavily exaggerated and manufactured by horrendous policy decisions and the...
Wait. Frick, how do I go back by like a frame? Damn it. What did I just do?
Censorship from COVID was heavily exaggerated and manufactured by horrendous policy.
Okay. Over 9,000 virus patients sent to New York nursing homes. Okay. Is this for the elderly?
Decisions and the censorship of doctors with effective treatments.
FDA settles lawsuits over... What is this? Ivermectin. Oh, is that the vaccine? Social media post? What is this? Ivermectin? I don't know what that is.
So this person who, by the way, works from home and doesn't have to deal with masking for an 8-hour shift is suggesting that we go back to some of the lockdown policies of a couple years ago.
We gotta read that.
That crashed the lockdown policies ago for an 8-hour shift.
I'm bored, so ask me anything. What's your job now? I'm a freelance illustrator and designer. I worked for a couple agencies out of a college. Okay, all right.
Shift is suggesting that we go back to some of the lockdown policies.
Health, go back to normal and below 10,000. Ideally, we have not had a single day since COVID cases in the U.S. were below 100,000 per day. Where are you getting this? Dr. Fuzzett says U.S. COVID cases need to fall below 10,000 before we get to a degree of normalcy.
Of a couple years ago that crashed the economy, threw a bunch of people into poverty, and damaged everyone's mental health. All for...
Oh yeah, that was when the governor of New York sent sick people to nursing homes, effectively killing hundreds of older people who lived in those homes. Was this during COVID? Is that why I didn't hear about it? Because I was not into this kind of stuff when I was that young? Holy frick, dude. COVID mostly targeted it mostly hurt older people. Younger people fended it off just fine. But COVID killed a lot of old people because, you know, old.
A disease that's basically killing nobody these days.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to do a cost versus benefits analysis. And if you get the short end of the stick on that, then you do what you can to protect yourself. But this whole masking 5 years after the lockdown started is not an uncommon belief, actually. I've seen a lot of people promoting it.
I'm COVID safe. If you guys aren't masking, I'm not going to be around you.
Not a problem. Just let me know. Just to let you know, I'm not going to blah, blah, blah until 1 tomorrow. If you need more time to... What is this? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
You should go out more. It better be free. If I'm going out, it has to be free. And there needs to be barely anyone in sight because...
Chat. I'm gonna ask a serious question here. Are some women able to grow beards? I'm not making fun of this person. I am asking a serious question. Does she have a beard? I'm not making fun of her. I'm just curious. Because I've heard of it before. Yes, they can. Okay. All right. If they have hormone issues, yes. Okay. All right. Then I'm not gonna say anything else. I was just asking a very serious question. Normally when they get older, I think it's when they hit menopause, right?
Because, yeah, COVID and people aren't masking.
But I will make fun of one thing. Nose rings. The nose rings. The warning sign. They're like, in nature, whenever you like saw like a bright colored animal, it told you not to fuck with that animal because it was potentially very dangerous. That's what nose rings are for humans. So if you see somebody with a nose ring, run. Okay.
For context, both of those videos were filmed this year. Here's a whole page dedicated to masking propaganda with a comic that says, "Not masking is eugenics," followed by the caption talking about how the creator is mad that normal people...
You are participating in eugenics in multiple ways. Okay, I've seen this word thrown around a couple of times in this video and in the past few weeks So I want to know the very definition of this word, eugenics. Let's find out the definition. Definition. Okay. I want to know the definition of this word. Hang on a second. Let me minimize this and then we'll look at this together. Okay. The study of how to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of here. The fuck is that? What is this word? Damn it. These big ass words. What is this word? Capable of being inherited by heirs or others, transmittable from a parent to offspring. Characteristics regarded as desirable. Developed largely by Sir Francis Galton as a method of improving the human race, eugenics were increasingly discredited as unscientific and racially biased during the 2000th century, especially after the adoption of the doctrines by the Nazis in order to justify their treatment of the Jews, disabled people, and other minority groups. So it's basically the beliefs of Nazis. So these people are just basically calling you Nazis. Okay, that's great. I've seen people do that too. I don't like nose rings. That's just me. The nose ring theory. Yeah, I do have that video saved, and we'll probably watch that tomorrow. The nose ring theory. We'll probably watch that tomorrow. Theo family info drop. Impressive. Okay. All right. So I wanted to know the definition of this word because I didn't know. But now I know. They're basically just calling you a Nazi. Okay.
On the left don't want to wear a mask every time they go outside. Are you just going to wear a mask forever? Yeah. I can only imagine the tyranny we would live under if this person got...
There's two cases of this. I think there's like these crazy people, and then you have people that want to live in Japan, because in Japan they wear masks a lot. But there's a reason for that. It's because there's so many people in one little area that they have to wear a mask. I mean, it's just there's so much people in one area. It's definitely one of them is going to be sick. So that's why Japan wears masks. We don't have to wear masks because we're like 100 times bigger than Japan. Probably even more.
Any political power.
Texas alone
but
is
more
bigger
importantly,
than
everyone is just
Japan.
tired of this type of person constantly playing victim
too.
and then using
I
that
wanna
to
go
either
there.
tell everybody what to do or demand free shit.
My ADHD.
We're all
I
tired of
can't
this
focus on
or
the video.
fatigue,
I have to look at the pretty. Where is this? It's so pretty.
as one might say. Because the ones who play the victim game,
They ride a lot of trains too, yeah, and they're all like sardined in there. Some of them, not there's some train rides that get very sardine packed in Japan. I'm Japan. They'll wear one in Japan. They'll wear one even if they have a little stuffy. Yeah, it's common courtesy in Japan if you're feeling like you have something going on, even if it's just lightly something. They'll put on a mask out of just, courtesy,
we're always the most sociopathic, self-centered, and awful people, so no one's being fooled by this fake compassion anymore.
Why don't just disabled people wear masks then? Some
Holy hell. Oh my god. If you see somebody with a room like this, run. This woman is just full freaking red flags everywhere. Holy, she's got... Okay, hang on. All right, we got Ekans here. We got Ekans, which is snake backwards. We got Gengar. We got Mew. We got is this Bulbasaur? It looks weird. It's covered by so many other things. We got Mewtwo. We got that. What's that name? Nuck? No. Grunk? Is it Grunk? I think it's Grunk. I don't know a lot about the second generation. I know a lot about the first generation. All plushies. She has Stitches from Animal Crossing. I want it. I don't see him. I'm lost. Oh, is this thing? No, this thing? I don't know. I don't know a lot about Animal Crossing. My
disabled
God.
and immunocompromised people cannot get vaccinated or wear a mask due to medical reasons, which is why it's crucial you should if you can. Where should I mask then? Everywhere? You should mask anywhere you think disabled people
Dude, you're
deserve
in
to
your
exist in
house.
safety.
You're in your house and you're wearing a mask, and your room is pink. Everything in your house is
Yes,
pink.
that's every public place.
For the record,
You're
this person's
crazy.
claiming that she's disabled.
This place is beautiful too. I would go fishing here, chat. Look, you could just sit on this little ledge, get a little lawn chair, go fishing. It's perfect. I want to go fishing.
Because she's slightly autistic.
He's on the shelf. Some people
Now,
do
for
that.
one, never getting sick is bad for your immune system.
I could make an argument that if someone saw a room like yours too, they would run. No, if you saw a room like mine or Asmin's, you would be like, this person, they're good. My room's not that messy. I just have a messy bed because I just sleep on it. It doesn't need to look pretty.
and makes you more vulnerable. 2, being alive always carries risk, and nobody is masking every time they go outside forever. In the extremely small chance they come across someone who has a compromised immune system,
I saw people who used gloves handle money and then eat with the same gloves thinking they were clean. Money is the dirtiest thing that you can touch. No, there are crumbs in your bed. Why you gotta spoil me like that? There's no crumbs in my bed. There's like whatever, all right? It's pretzels, okay?
and
I like
can't
pretzels.
mask if they want to. Like, that's such a rare thing that realistically, I
Holy
think this
frick,
person's
that's cool too. I want to live here. I'm not focused on the video anymore. I'm just focused on this stuff. Look at this. I would put like a sniper's roost up here, and any deer that came onto my property, just snipe it.
just overly fearful of catching COVID, and is saying, what about these marginalized communities, to pretend that she isn't being selfish? Because calling everybody murdering eugenicists if they don't cater to what you want is kind of self-centered. Anyway, for those of you who didn't see the prior
Holy
video,
Lord Pink Farquad. Oh my god, DEI Farquad. Oh my goodness. What kind of books you got up here? Dogs. Okay. I can't read any of this. I can't read it. It's too small.
this pink-haired person is Courtney, who is a 28-year-old
This poor
asexual autistic
Jigglypuff.
person with low support needs who also has
That hurts
ADHD.
my eyes. Yeah.
Did I get all
It's
those
so
tags
pink.
perfectly correct? I wouldn't want to be called a bigot.
Oh my gosh, I had an autistic meltdown this weekend and went nonverbal. Actually, that would be a verbal shutdown. Huh? Because being non-speaking or nonverbal is the permanent state of using words and other forms besides
I hate
voice.
this
You don't
video format
experience
that
that,
she's
and you
doing.
don't have to co-opt someone else's language to describe that experience.
Right, the asshole is
All
the
right. I'm gonna throw a little bit of a hot take. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me, whatever. You're not gonna change my mind on this because we don't know the facts. I'm gonna throw a little bit of a hot take out there. People who say they have autism don't have autism. I don't think these people know what actual real autism is. And when people come out and they're like, "Oh, I'm autistic" and stuff like that, I feel like they're just using that as an excuse for their weird and bad behavior. And they're not getting this confirmed by a doctor, or if they are, the doctor's probably like, "Oh, okay, get the hell out of my office. Oh my god. Yeah, sure. You're autistic. Get out of my office." Okay? So, I don't know. I've met real autistic people before, and none of them ever act like these people, okay? Autism is a real thing that really affects people, and it affects the way that they think. It affects the way that they act. And if you saw somebody with autism, you would look at these people and be like, "You don't fucking have autism." Especially if you know people who have autism. My sister, she doesn't only just have autism. She has many other things. She's got a lot of problems. Yes, autism is a spectrum. I agree that autism is a spectrum, and some of it's real bad. But these people who come out and say they're self-diagnosed with autism, they're just using it as an excuse to excuse their weird and bad behavior. That's my opinion. Now, if they had some proof behind it, I would be like, all right, you got me. You got autism. But some of these people are self-diagnosed. They go to Google and they'd be like, okay, how do I feel a little weird. You have autism. All right, I'm going to make that a part of my personality now. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. But yeah, I have an actual sister with something similar to autism. I don't think it's actual autism, but she's mentally retarded, and she's 32, 33, and she has the mind of a 5-year-old. Literally, I'm not making a joke. That's literally. But yeah, they got diagnosed by ChatGPT. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure you're probably right about some of them. Anyways, this place is pretty too. Moving on.
Person who made the honest mistake and not the one who is meticulously correcting everyone. Anyway, basically all of Courtney's content is centered around what level of the victim tier you're on, and she seems to revel in collecting various diagnoses like autism and ADHD,
Yeah.
so she can use that to claim that she is disabled and therefore...
Okay, if you have ADHD, you are not disabled. You still gotta go to work. You got a little Magikarp here. Magikarp is one of my favorite Pokemons, even though he's useless, but he turns into, the big serpent. Frick. Whatever, he's one of my favorites.
or oppressed, which really is just a personality trait that everyone finds annoying, because ultimately the reason that they're
Vulpix
playing
is
the
your
victim
favorite?
oppression game is
Vulpix
to shield
is pretty
themselves
cool.
from any criticism of their
Ninetales.
behavior. Which brings us to a video that I made a little while back
no.
called Why the LGBT Movement is Failing, that included an entire 10 seconds of Courtney talking about some BS about being non-binary, and I basically responded with the same sentiment of this meme here, which is that
What you want? I want everyone to know that I'm offended by everything. Say no more. Holy frick, dude. It's like a half bowl cut, and it goes like... It's like half bowl cut, and then back here it goes... What the... What?
once you see the bad haircut and the pink hair, you know this person's going to be annoying and offended by everything.
And the
I mean-
glasses. You can't forget the glasses. It's this. There's one certain type of glasses. I don't think it's probably not this one. I think it's the square ones, the black square ones that don't look like they're real glasses. They look like those fake glasses that you could buy and like put that on, and then you would be like, "Bro, I gotta wear glasses," and your bro's like, "Shut the fuck up, you're stupid." It looks like those glasses, and whenever you see somebody wearing those glasses legitimately, you know they're going to be a problem. They're going to be
was I
dumb
wrong?
and
Is the
argumentative
stereotype
and get
incorrect?
offended by everything.
Wow, is this what you look like without the pink anime character hair? Jeez, this is what 4 years of college will do to a person. Now, a normal person would see criticism like that and either
Oh my-
ignore it.
Look at that. I want to go there. I want to go to all these places that he's showing off in these videos. It does look a little cold, though. It does look a little cold. Because, you know, the snowy-ass mountains in the background. I think it would be a little cold here.
Or make a video response. But since
Those glasses are missing the plastic nose and mustache.
Courtney has the maturity of a 7-year-old like Illymation, who also thought people should not be allowed to criticize her, she decided to fight dirty and file a copyright strike on my
Oh,
video
you
on her
you never
to
do
get it
this.
removed.
You don't do this.
I made this video here responding to that, where I pointed out that it's ridiculous that she's striking my video over a 10-second clip. I said that she's engaging
Why
in
is he showing
copyright
us pretty
abuse to silence
places?
people she doesn't like.
I don't know.
And I ended that video by saying that I would be fighting the strike.
I'm not real big
Now
into
we're all
cities.
caught up to everything that's already been discussed on this channel. So to continue my point about my dislike of people who constantly play the victim card,
Yeah.
allow me to use this next segment to point out how their demeanor completely shifts the minute they feel they have the opportunity to fight dirty and victimize the people they don't like. By the way, I love how much of this parallels the Illymation drama from last year, where she tried to, multiple times, get me deplatformed because I made
don't
a
know
video
this person.
criticizing her. Anyway, getting to the part where she continues to fight dirty,
Holy.
after I released the dedicated video on her talking about her abusing the copyright system, Courtney went onto her Instagram and said this: "On today's episode of alt-right creators doing what they do best," stop, you know what's really funny? These people are so obsessed with making sure that everyone labels them properly, yet anytime they are faced with people who have differing opinions,
They just automatically label them as alt-right, and they don't give any further thought to it, and they just label all these people, and it's causing more and more people to lean towards right. I mean, even if you are a left, if you are part of the left, and you don't have the same opinions as someone who is extremely far left, they label you as a right, and then you eventually one of these this person's worst fear, or probably should be their worst fear, is if they come out and like call people bigot and racist and a Nazi. Your biggest fear when you're doing that to someone is when they turn around and say yes. That is the day that people like this will regret. I promise you, and I feel like it's probably coming soon. The world has there's so much going on right now. Literally every country, almost every country, is rioting because of immigration and shit like that. It's just getting worse and worse, and eventually it's going to get bad, and one of these people are going to do something, and it's going to be bad, and I'm worried.
They mislabel them as alt-right or Nazis. I'm not alt-right. Alt-right is a bunch of white supremacists who want an ethno-state.
Okay, let's read this. Alt-right is a far-right white nationalist movement. A largely online phenomenon, the alt-right originated in the United States during the late 2000s before increasing in popularity and establishing a presence in other countries during the late mid-10s. So I was born in 2001, and I didn't really gain sentience until like 2007. So I don't know any of this. I didn't know any of this happened. It's good that I'm learning, and we're learning together, chat. That's kind of another reason why I wanted to do this, is so that I could learn alongside everybody else, because I didn't, like, if I'm watching somebody like Asmongold and he refers to something like this, I have no fucking clue. I'm only I'm 23 and he's 35. I'm sorry, Asmon. If you're not 35, I'm so sorry. In 2010, the American white nationalist Richard B. Spencer launched the alternate right webzine. The fuck is a webzine? Maybe I was too young for that too. His alternative right was influenced by earlier forms of American white nationalism. So these guys are the racists. Okay. I don't let words like that bother me. Absolutely you shouldn't. What did Illy do? I didn't see anything. Apparently, this guy criticized something that she did. Like, I'm not sure. And then she, like, copyright struck a bunch of people who were criticizing her, which you don't do. You do not abuse the copyright system on YouTube. It always ends badly.
And I have openly stated many times that I don't like racism or identity politics. So it's nice to see that Courtney believes she deserves a respect that she doesn't give to other people. Moving on, Think Before You Sleep posted a large anti-trans rant video. Stop again. It was not anti-trans. It was a video talking about...
If you're wondering why I looked over there real quick, it's because my controller lit up brightly, and I was like, oh my god. And I didn't know what it was. I thought I was about to get attacked by some alien. No, I left my controller plugged in, and it's an RGB controller, and these light up from time to time. And it lit up, and it freaked me out there for a second.
About how sociopathic the activists are, and how even LGBT people don't like the activist.
Or just
I mean, if I can't say that it's wrong for Lily Tino to dress like Miss Rachel, and then advertise an OnlyFans account on the same page, then Courtney is basically saying that people can't criticize anything a gay person does or a trans person does. Think Before You Sleep posted a large anti-trans rant
just
video.
Because you think you're special, and then you go and, you know... These people think they're special and that they're free from any criticism, and that if you criticize someone like them, you're automatically against people like them, which is just stupid. I mean, it's stupid. I don't get where that comes from. Like, if I criticize some gay person for shooting up a bar, I suddenly hate gay people. Like, no, I don't give a fuck. He shot up a bar. What are we talking about right now?
And got mad when I got it removed for copyright because it illegally used my content, and they still don't know how copyright works. They? Are you misgendering me, Courtney?
Oh my God.
I am not a they, them. And last, here's the best part. After complaining about cyberbullying, Courtney finishes by saying, if you could thumbs down, report, or leave a good comment for me, I would appreciate it, as I'm being spammed by their alt-right followers right now. And then she leaves a link to my video in the post, followed by a screenshot showing that she watched an ad. Thanks, Courtney. I appreciate your financial support. I also appreciate how you're essentially crying about
people that use guns wrong. Exactly.
Here, as you tell your 200,000 Instagram followers to go mass flag, dislike bomb,
oh my God,
and harass a creator who...
We can just tell by the bio. Okay, so just an autistic Asian Chat, does she look Asian? Or is she stealing that? She doesn't look Asian. Maybe it's just because of the pink hair. I don't know. NB, I don't know what that means. Oversharing. My social interests. Gay? I don't know. Disability? What? Disability? Art? Art? Wait, disability is one of your special interests?
Who
All
is
right.
defending himself
Moving
against
on.
you abusing the copyright system on YouTube. How are you the victim? And keep in mind that the result of
Oh,
her
that's
post
kinda
was that I
cool.
received a shitload of negative comments from her followers.
I don't
really
know where that
leading
is.
by-
That looks like I've seen this place. No. This isn't in America. There's no way. This building is just too old. I mean, we have old buildings in America, but something like this, it looks a little too old.
example by
And like
showing
these
that you
buildings right here, they look really old. So I'm thinking this is like Europe or something.
think that bullying is wrong. Again, I love how this all parallels the
Ain't too
Alienation
pretty.
drama, where she essentially did the same thing. She complains about being harassed while at the same time tells her followers to harass me.
Whoa.
Thing. She complains about being
Did you see this total creep who did a takedown of your fat kid animation? What? Oh, is that what people were mad about? What they originally criticized her for? It's the exact sort of insane you'd expect for someone mad at the idea of weight isn't actually the only thing that matters in life. What? Yes, I didn't watch it. A friend who did, though, gave me a rundown. I advise others to not watch his video or his channel either. Do not engage. Don't give him a single second of watch time or ad revenue. Am I wrong? There are some places in America that are pretty, but they usually are out in nature and don't have people living next to them. Americans are so disgusting, and I'm saying that as an American. Oh, okay. So last year at the end of November, I don't know what happened, but I went to an area where I live that is filled with like stores and stuff, and there were millions of dead grasshoppers everywhere. No, they weren't grasshoppers, they were crickets. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. There were millions of them. They probably like sprayed like some poison everywhere, and it was crazy. Ugh. There were I'm not kidding when there were probably billions.
harassed while at the
was
same
crazy.
time tells her followers to harass me. Cries to know
All right, frick, dang it. Is that what you look like? I didn't know that you look like that.
while at the same time tells her followers
Okay. Since his video went live, I've been getting hate comment bombed on my fat kid video. On other vids on my channel, as well on Twitter and Insta, I submitted reports, but it takes a while for a human review at YouTube. I chatted with a help desk person today in the live chat. Okay, so please report it for cyberbullying. What? Someone criticizing you is not cyberbullying. So I don't know what's going on. It sounds like this girl made a video with a fat kid in it. I'm guessing she does animations. So I don't know what the context of the video was, but if it was just a fat kid, I don't think people would get mad at it. It was probably something glorifying or defending fat obesity, and that's what people didn't like. So, especially in kids, you don't defend stuff like that. You don't do that.
to harass me. Cries to Noah Samson about it so he would tell
this
his
isn't him.
followers to harass me.
This is
And
somebody
says
else.
thank you to and gives no pushback to a friend who said I should kill myself. And let me just mention that in both cases with Courtney and Alienation, I pretty explicitly told my followers to not comment on their videos or harass them or engage with them in any way. So Courtney, level with me for a second. How is it okay for you to make multiple videos saying everyone who doesn't wear a mask everywhere in public is a bad person, followed by passive-aggressively wishing
I think, like, if this person's logic, right, the entire, oh my god, in almost all of America, we're just bad people. I haven't. The only time I wear a mask now is when I'm outside weed eating. That's the only time I ever wear a mask. If that's not enough for you, which it should, okay. May I remind you that a repeat of COVID infections are what? Killing and permanently disabling. COVID didn't permanently disable somebody. It killed older people. I don't think there were. Was there some? I'm sure there were some young people that died. Probably some that had like immune system problems. I only wear a mask when I'm deep cleaning. Yeah, because like if you're using Pine Sol is strong, dude.
Disability on those who refuse to mask. Like, it's okay to criticize those people, but if I say I don't like pink hair...
This one. I want this place. Look at this. This is so cool. Screw that other castle. I want this. This looks like it's like in New Mexico. What is it? It looks cool.
Then you feel like you're morally justified in sending your audience to try to deplatform me.
Oh, they got.
I mean, holy shit,
real?
these
That
people
doesn't
are
look real.
ridiculous, especially considering people like Illumination's
That's a
good friend Noah
monastery?
Sampson,
Ooh.
who's moved on to telling his followers to commit acts of terrorism. And wouldn't it
But imagine cleaning those houses. I mean, you're right, but if you can afford a house like that, you could probably afford to hire people to clean it too.
be a damn shame if someone had an old deleted tweet from Illumation?
Protest, riot, do everything you must to make them hear you and make them listen. Oh no. Okay. Wait, no. When was this video? Okay. All right. This was in 2020. Okay. I thought with this right here, Minnesota, I thought it was about to get bad. But this is for the Black Lives Matter protests. This was in 2020.
Where she was encouraging terrorism in 2020. Wouldn't it be just
I don't want people in my house. Ew. Okay. All right.
horrible if someone pointed out that
Hire a family member to clean your house then.
poor little Illumation, who was always a victim, was cheering for innocent people having the shit kicked out of them and their property being looted and destroyed? Wouldn't it be awful if someone had an archive of when Twitter
Okay, I remember when this happened. The Black Lives Matter protests and stuff, they like looted buildings and like burned down places like a bunch of fucking animals. You don't do that. If you're doing a protest, you don't loot, you don't burn down things. That's how you get people to not like you and not listen to you and want you to be in jail. You don't do that. When you're doing a protest, you remain peaceful, maybe a little annoying, but not too annoying, like standing in the middle of roads and then crying when somebody runs one of y'all over. You don't do stuff like that. You do peaceful riots. I am a big believer in people's right to riot. Not riot, but protest. I used the wrong word. Protest. Peaceful protests. It's not protesting, that's more anarchy. Exactly. This is just
still
anarchy.
public, and had a post that she liked with a bunch of buildings on fire saying no justice, no peace. No wonder her and Noah get along. Both of them love terrorism. But I digress. You see, what Courtney has done here with this Instagram post is not only violate YouTube's cyberbullying policy, but
Right.
she also violated Google's terms of service. Anyway,
Yeah.
as I said in the earlier video, I will be fighting Courtney's abuse of the
Ooh.
copyright system. The way
This
that
is
works
cool,
is
too.
that you
It looks
file a
very
counterclaim, and
This
the person
isn't
who
in
filed
America,
the
of
strike
course.
has 10 business days to prove to YouTube that they filed a lawsuit or the video goes back up. Since Courtney was insistent that I had broken the law, and because she
Did
said she
someone
talked to
say
someone at
anarchy?
YouTube and they said it was copyright infringement, I hired a lawyer. Ethan Klein's lawyer, actually. And after I finished the initial consultation,
Oh, Ethan, I never understood that tactic of terroristic rioting. That doesn't pull anyone from the opposite argument to your side at all. If anything, it pushes them further away from your cause. Exactly. If you're wanting okay, have you ever heard the term you catch more flies with honey? That's true. Chat, it's true. There's a reason that saying is popular. Because it's true. You don't threaten someone when you're wanting something from them. That's just a good way to not get that thing and then end up hating you. And you end up in jail. So, yeah, when you're rioting, or I shouldn't say rioting, because rioting is the act of destroying stuff. If you're doing a protest, you want it to remain peaceful. I mean, it's understandable that you would want it to be maybe a little annoying, but not too annoying. Like the LA protests, was that the one that happened recently? Or not recently, but at the beginning of the year, I think when Trump got in office, there were like LA protests, and they were like all on the highway and throwing bricks at people, and then they were surprised when a cop shot somebody who threw a brick at them. Like, dude, you're throwing a brick at a cop. The cop has a right to defend himself, because if he's getting multiple bricks thrown at him, believe it or not, a brick can kill somebody. So yeah, I'm sorry to burst your little bubble, but a brick can kill somebody. If you hit him in the, like, temple, or if you, I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit with a fucking brick. I have enough brain problems as it is. They were burning cars and looting here in LA because, here recently in LA because of deportations. Yeah, that too. They were protesting deportations. Violence shouldn't be the answer. Yeah, violence isn't the answer, and it's a way to push people away from you. What was I gonna say? They were also they were burning Teslas. Remember, people were protesting like Elon, and they were setting his cars on fire and stuff, as if that hurt Elon's little feelings.
Just started laughing. Just so everyone's up to speed, any creative work that you make.
What is this? What are those? This it's like the what is that? What is that one with the weird statues? The only non-peaceful riots are good is if all people are on the same page against the government. Very surprising. Frick. The only way non-peaceful riots are good if all on the same page against the government. I agree with you. I agree. If you have a riot with a lot of different people with different views, I feel like things might escalate very quickly. So that's actually, I do have an example for that. So recently, the UK has been up in protest because of immigration, and they've been using the internet as a way to like get information out there to other people who dislike what the UK government is doing. And they're all on the same page. They all know what people are doing. They all know where to meet. I feel like that is probably a way better way to do things. Sculptures, Stonehenge, that place. Yeah, Stonehenge. That's what I was thinking. Is clearly this isn't Stonehenge, or the there's a certain island that has these like heads. What are those things called? They're like, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Those weird heads at that island.
Make like a song or a YouTube video is by law instantly copyrighted, so that people
Easter
can't
Island.
resell it
Yeah,
or
you
claim
right.
it's theirs,
Easter
unless
Island.
they want to get sued. However, there's an exception to copyright called fair use, which says that you can use people's copyrighted works for the sake of things like parody, education, or commentary,
Yeah.
provided that your use
That's
of
what
the
I'm
work
doing.
doesn't
I'm
act
doing
as a replacement
commentary
for
on
it.
this guy's work. If he tried to copyright me, out of respect, if they do it like, if somebody reaches out to you and say, hey man, can you take down this video, and they ask nicely, that's fine. If you're doing that and you take it down, and it's just respect. I found this YouTube channel where a teacher was talking about politics. Peak. Frick. But yeah, you don't copyright strike people in just for stuff like this, because what this guy's doing is, I'd say it's more educational commentary, where I'm doing just commentary. And, well, I mean, maybe it's educational. I don't know. It's called Predictive History. Oh, that sounds like it might be cool. I might search that up after stream because I need more stuff to react to. But yeah, you don't do stuff like that. You don't abuse the copyright system when things are very clearly not copyright. Especially if
provided that
somebody's
your input
criticizing
on whatever
you and
you
decide
use,
to abuse
create
the
some sort of
copyright
transformative
system.
change that alters how people interpret it. This is what allows for doing things like a movie review and using clips from that movie without having to ask the company. So I'm arguing that my use of Courtney's content is fair use. Now, that would have
To be fair with movies, I think you have to wait a little bit for movies, because I remember Matt Pat saying something about that, because remember Matt Pat had like film theory, and I remember in like his like frick. It was for Marvel. It was for one of the Marvel ones. Infinity War. It was for Infinity War. He couldn't use any content for it for like 2 weeks or something like that. He can post any clips of it yet. I don't know. I don't know if that's still a thing or if that was ever a thing.
Up in a court of law,
I
but
would
since
recommend a video, Secret History: How Evil Triumphs. That sounds
I only used
interesting.
10 seconds, and I
I might
gave
look at
commentary that argued against what she was saying.
Ooh, cherry blossoms.
It's almost certain that it would be ruled as fair use. But that's not why I thought this whole thing was funny after talking to a lawyer. Now, I'm going to be brief on these specific reasons for why Courtney is screwed because I'm not trying to educate my opponent. That would be a stupid move.
You're
However,
going
I
after
will say
her,
that
huh?
basically
You're good. Oh, he's going in. He's gonna sue her. Oh my God. If MatPat says it's true, then it's probably true. Yeah, I like MatPat.
the reason I was laughing is
I miss
because the
Matt
amount of
Pat.
damages that she's legally allowed to pursue for copyright infringement of that 10-second clip is almost nothing compared to how much it would cost to sue me. She would be putting a second mortgage on that pink
Oh my
house.
God. The outside of her house is pink too. She painted her house pink. Holy. So not only is I'm so surprised that her car isn't pink. Come on, you got to get the Monopoly. You got to paint the door pink. You got to paint the car pink. Come on, you got to do it. You gotta, and you got a gay pride flag hanging up outside. Oh my God.
To afford it. That's
need
if
a
she
pink
wins.
hose, too. I'm
However,
sure there's
if
one
she
out there.
loses, which is very likely,
Whoa.
it would be incredibly easy for me to
What is this place? I'm pausing the video way too much just to look at these places. They're just neat looking.
prove that her takedown was
Yellow
malicious,
door,
which
ew.
means I can countersue for my lawyer fees, and that won't be cheap for her. So let me be very clear when I say that if somebody were to put me through a massive waste of time lawsuit like that and didn't have the liquid cash to pay for it, I would be brutal in trying to seize every single piece of property that they value until the fees were paid. I very much believe in the fuck around and find out policy, and if you want to get so pissy about someone criticizing your pink hair that you turn it into a legal battle, then I'll make sure that you understand why it's a stupid idea to file a lawsuit against
Screenshot all the places from Google Images.
somebody because your
This looks like something that you would see when you're first booting up Windows.
feelings got hurt. Because once you stop being emotional about this, you're going to realize how financially stupid this was for you. Now, as for what's happened so far legally, I filed a counterclaim and she
found it.
backed
We'll take a
down.
look.
Probably
Can you
because
send
she
me-
doesn't
Yeah,
have
you
a
already
lawyer
sent it.
or any
Okay.
actual understanding of how the law works, and she doesn't want to lose a lawsuit. Actually, just for laughs, let's go over how I know she doesn't have a lawyer. For starters, she said, a person at YouTube told me it was copyright infringement, instead of saying something like, my lawyer said it was copyright.
Okay, hang on. Actually, nope. 10 seconds of unedited footage. 10 seconds. What? It's 10 seconds. With no overlays or edits does not qualify as fair use. Oh my God, she's doing the Quantum TV argument. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, Quantum TV, tried to copyright strike The Act Man, which is another very good content creator on YouTube, for his criticism of his... The Act Man made a criticism of Quantum's Elden Ring review, which he didn't even play the game. He was calling Elden Ring a piece of shit game, and he didn't even play the game. It's crazy.
Infringement. Not to mention that YouTube purposefully does not take a legal stance on these issues because they don't want to be held liable. So Courtney was probably talking to a secretary or an AI
Gotta
chatbot
go
that
to
she
work
thought
in
was a
15
human.
minutes. Don't worry.
Now,
We're
let me
almost
further
done. After this
emphasize how
video, it'll
stupid it
probably
is
be
to
done
not
for the
consult
day.
legal counsel for stuff like this. Because Courtney 100% does not know how to shut the fuck up, which, as the defendant, personally, I love. So after she made that post telling everyone to mass flag my channel, she made a YouTube community post talking about my video where people were happy to confirm that they were mass flagging my video that broke no rules, which again, violates YouTube's community guidelines.
Just reported that video in their channel. They have no right to say those things about you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you have a picture. No, that's not Gura. That's not Gura. Okay, I reported them. You got this. TBYS. What is TBYS? Am I too old? Am I too old for this? Needs to be... Oh wait, that's his name. Never mind. I'm so fucking stupid.
Here's evidence of that. The great thing about this post is that it helps my case for fair use. Her calling me alt-right and transphobic is a public admission that our viewpoints are diametrically opposed. Thanks, Courtney. That'll make it much easier to argue in a court of law that my commentary is transformative and fair use, because I'm arguing a viewpoint that opposes yours. The great part is that she deleted this post, another indicator that she doesn't have a lawyer, because deleting evidence like that is called spoliation, and there are penalties for that in court. I mean, she'd have to be an idiot to think I didn't save it. Speaking of, Courtney had no problem running her mouth all over the comment section of that post, and it would be a damn shame if somebody read through every single public comment she made and archived them. I mean, she was super arrogant about how knowledgeable she is about
Courtney
copyright
is in
law
trouble.
and how she has some sort of connections at YouTube. I guess it didn't work that well because my video is back up. Here's a comment that says, "They're weird as hell for getting upset over this. Even if it is fair use as some people claim, you have a right to not be in a video if you don't want to." There they go, misgendering me again. I'm not a they, them. And no, she doesn't have the right to not be criticized. Courtney is an influencer, and because she posts herself in the public square, people are allowed.
If you post yourself online, you there's nothing you can do. You're online at that point. The entire world has a shot at you, basically.
To comment on her. If you don't want people commenting on you, then don't post stuff on the internet. Courtney responds by agreeing and saying that transphobic comments make a video not fair use? What? Did I read that right? Here's a comment where she's openly acknowledging that she told her followers to go harass me and how much she appreciates them doing that. And last but not least, you could use this comment to argue that the reason that she struck the video is because of the criticism and not because any copyright infringement was committed. Let me just emphasize that we have a ton of evidence that Courtney filed that strike in bad faith. And just as a reminder for those of you who haven't seen the video that she tried to silence that's called Why the LGBT Movement is Failing, note that video was primarily about predators like Lily Tino filming in the Disneyland bathrooms with children present, advertising OnlyFans on a page that features Miss Rachel parody content intended for kids, and going into restaurants trying to get people fired in an attempt to go viral on TikTok. As well as there being a crazy mom in that video giving her kid medicine that will permanently sterilize him at 13 years old.
Dr. Olson had a decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promised.
No, the mother and the doctor need to go to jail. You don't do that to a kid. Okay, so I'll throw an example since I'm young. Back when I was 16, I was the stupidest. I was so fucking stupid. when I was 16. This kid's 13. Is that what he just said? 13? This kid's worried about how much time they'll get at the playground today. They shouldn't be worried about something like this, and they shouldn't have a decision like this thrown on them. There's a reason that we can't drink alcohol until we're 21. It's because we're fucking stupid. Until we start to, experience the world. It's just, you know what? I won't watch this video.
To begin giving
I'll
her
rant throughout the entire video. What do you mean was? Yeah, I'm still fucking
hormones
stupid.
in 2 years.
Around 13. That's what I think. You're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Who's the bad person here? Courtney is literally defending child predators and saying
they need to throw you in a cell and then just lock it and then poof. Oh, we lost the key. It's gone.
I'm the hateful one because I spent 20 seconds in a video saying I don't like her pink hair and I think she's annoying. Everybody is tired of people like this. Everybody is tired of adults like this who behave like 5-year-olds, wagging their fingers and telling everyone what to do.
POV, you stop living the life you thought a proper adult should and start living for what brings your inner child joy.
This is what I mean. Everyone catered to me because I'm a child. I'm afraid of COVID, so here's this drawing I made to call you a piece of shit for not wearing a mask. You know, if you're a 28-year-old who has Peter Pan syndrome and want to play with children's toys, eat the diet of a kindergartner, and live inside of your obnoxiously pink house that I'm sure your husband is only pretending to like because he's afraid of you.
Oh my, you have a husband? Holy, I feel so bad for that poor man. Unless he's like, is he like a fairy? I don't know.
Go ahead.
What is this? What? That's not even good decoration. It's just a pink crown.
America. Live how you want to live in private. But the minute you start bringing your childish bullshit around me is the minute that I start caring. And the minute you start pretending to be a victim as an excuse to treat people like shit is the minute I have a problem.
And that's not even considering the larger community of all disabled folks
Maybe
who
she's a
also
really good
experience chronic
cook.
stress and dysregulation
I doubt
from
it.
unmet accessibility needs and living in disabled bodies in a disability hostile
Okay,
world.
All right. I have a little irk right now. What are you doing with this? What is this? What are these eyebrow things? What are you doing? What are you doing? You didn't even fill it in. Was it supposed to be like mascara? You were like supposed to fill it in. You didn't even fill it in. You just drew the outline and then just left it. Also, your microphone looks like a dick.
And living in disabled bodies in a disability hostile world.
Right, we live in a disability hostile world where we have a ton of accommodations and legislation to help disabled people, as well as economic supports for people who are unable to work. I mean, this chick should check out World War II Germany if she
Oh,
wants to
God.
see a government that's hostile towards disabled.
If somebody like her actually knew about World War II, she'd probably have a panic attack and never go outside again. You know what? Maybe you should learn about World War II, Courtney.
Disabled people. But ultimately, this line of messaging is not helpful to the people that she
This place
claims
is
to be
cool.
advocating for,
Tiny
which
street.
is typical of activism. And I get tired of people who have made it their life's mission
What
to
did she
infect
do to
others with
Mewtwo?
philosophy.
What? What do you mean? The fuck? What is wrong with me? Yeah, it's his tail. It's his tail. She just moved it. Okay, where were we? Right here.
Not helpful to the people that she claims to be advocating for, which is typical of activism. And I get tired of people who have made it their life's mission to infect others with philosophy that turns them into useless victims.
And as someone who's black myself and has observed a lot of the mindsets that permeate within the black community, I think the one thing that's holding a lot of us back is the victimhood mentality. I've never been a fan of any group of people looking at me and saying, poor you because of this and this and that.
Who would
Right,
want
this
that?
victim mindset is rampant in a lot of communities, and it's not helpful to anyone
Dude,
because
this,
it
this
just
place looks like the perfect place to fish.
demoralizes them into achieving far less than their potential. Usually that results in them demanding stuff from everyone that they could have just gotten for themselves. What's worse in Courtney's case, though, is that not only will she tell disabled people to avoid assimilating into normal society as much as they're able to, but also she'll tell them to self-diagnose mental disabilities,
Okay.
which is just the
Self-diagnosed. That's exactly what I thought this woman was doing. Okay, they're already peer diagnosed. What? So some other person came up to you and be like, "Oh, I think you have this," and you're like, "Yeah." Peer diagnosis, peer diagnosis, or being validated by another autistic person is very accurate in what I recommend for those seeking validation outside of healthcare. What?
she'll tell them to self-diagnose mental disabilities.
Can anyone tell Kenny is longing for some property with a house on it? Yeah.
Which is just the worst health advice. And apparently, this is an entire trend on TikTok.
We've seen the rise of self-diagnosed mental illness. The term
What kind of
neurodivergent went
TV do
mainstream.
you have?
TikTok.
I know
We've
this
seen the
lady, and I want to know what kind of TV she had, because originally, before I started streaming, I was going to have a TV right here that I would display with a background every stream. Didn't work. The TV looked awful on camera. I think it was just the name of the What's her name? Oh no, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to her, but I don't know her name right off the. It's got a camera on it. Yeah, it's got a webcam on it. Why does she have a webcam on it? I don't know. But she makes pretty good content too. I don't remember her name.
Self-diagnosed
I'm sure we'll
mental
react
illness.
to one of her videos in the future, I'm sure.
The term neurodivergent went mainstream, which mostly referred to autism and ADHD, and it gained traction on platforms like TikTok, where users self-diagnosed and demanded accommodations for these conditions, like workplace.
Self-diagnosis. It's one of the biggest problems that it's a big problem. It's a very big problem for people like this. I mean, it's like going to Google and telling it you have a fever, and it's like you have cancer. So then you just start to believe that you have cancer, and you go through chemo and all of it without even going to a doctor, without confirming you might not have cancer. It might have just been a fever.
flexibility, using their conditions as an excuse to shrug
Maybe
off
like a weak camera. No, I knew exactly what camera that was. It was a Logitech webcam. I had the same one.
adulthood and evade responsibility in so many cases. People started collecting labels like they were personality
It's a big
points.
problem, especially when they think it makes them above the law. Yeah.
Non-binary,
Like they're privileged, or because they think they're disabled, they have some sort of mental priority over other people, and it's meh. You don't suffer from ADHD, you're just lazy. Own up to it. Yeah.
disabled, neurodivergent, polyamorous,
You just don't
and
wanna
became
work.
offended if others didn't properly adhere to them.
Right. Taking pride in how mentally ill you
Ooh.
are is a smart thing to do.
Whoa! What place is this? This place is cool. It's so colorful.
Instead of getting accurate diagnoses and professional help. All TikTok is doing in this respect is making people
I have to take ADD or ADHD medicine when I was little, but I didn't like how it made me act, so I stopped taking it. Yeah. I have a lot of opinions on giving kids medicine. It's because I was on a lot of medicine as a kid, and I didn't agree with a lot of it. But yeah, we might cover that in a different video.
and listen unlikable without giving them
This is
any
cool, too.
perspective as to
Kenny
why
wants a
people outside of
vacation.
the internet don't want to be around them.
I want to climb
You
this.
seemed really standoffish at first.
Gee, why would people see you
Well,
like
well,
that? Well, maybe it's because half
she
of your
looked like she was
videos are
from
you telling people
Cyberpunk
why they can't
in
live
that
how they
video.
want because it offends you,
I felt
followed
like a
by
zombie.
using being slightly
I
autistic
know
or
exactly what you're
non-binary
talking
as a
about.
shield against criticism. Like, it's funny how you have perpetual victims like Courtney, but then you have people like Ricky Berwick who doesn't give a shit and can
This dude
eloquently
is
say
so
things
funny.
like, I'm Canadian, you retard. It's weird how basically everyone I've known who has a disability in real life doesn't feel the need to make it their entire personality and really just wants to
This house is cool. This isn't a part of the house. I think this is like is it a part of the house? No, it's like where you put firewood, right? So it doesn't get wet.
be treated as if they weren't disabled. But then you have people like Courtney
Don't
who
forget
are out
about
here
work. Yeah,
ordering
we're
everyone
almost
around,
done.
calling
We're
people
almost done.
evil eugenicists for not complying with her demands. People like Courtney are doing a disservice to
a
everyone who
wood
needs help or
wall?
accommodation.
There's no way. It's like stacked around the window. I feel like it's a wooden wall, and you just take pieces of firewood out of it if you need it, and then you can just restack it back up. That's so cool. Stacked like bricks. Yeah. They have it like to where it's surrounding the window. It's all for firewood. Yeah.
To survive.
Fireworks suck because they scare autistic and neurodivergent people too.
Shut
4th of July
up,
is a
shut
racist
up.
holiday that only celebrates the freedom
Oh
of a
my
select
god, I don't like this woman. The 4th of July is a racist holiday that only celebrates the freedom of a select few. A select few? Every American. Are you... Oh, this person is so stupid.
few.
Okay, not only do we have to wear a mask everywhere, but now
place is
fireworks are
cool.
bad because they offend autistic people, and the 4th of July is racist? I have to mask every day, but you can't wear...
Okay, there is another type of people that really bother me, and it's people who think that America is like some bad place to live and you don't have like freedoms and stuff like that. And these people are like, even some of them, they'll have like Russian emblems in their like bios, or like Chinese flags and stuff like that, signifying that the reason that they don't like this place is because of capitalism, kind of. But they idolize those places, which those people, you don't want to live in Russia, you don't want to live in China. In fact, I would be willing to pay more taxes so that people like you could go experience a place like that, and probably one-way ticket. I would be willing to buy one of these people a one-way ticket to Russia and see how much they like it in Russia. One example I have is when Putin started the war, he locked down everyone's banks and took their money out of the bank. Yeah, you don't want to live in Russia.
ear.
Don't take anyone seriously that criticizes capitalism who is benefiting from that system. Exactly. There are many people like that. I can think of other people, but I won't say any names. At least not right now.
Plugs for a few hours once a year? You see what I mean? Literally doing everything in her power to make everyone hate autistic people. And all irony is completely lost on her, as she is a Korean who complains
Identity
about
is not
bullshit
your
like
Halloween
Halloween cultural
costume.
appropriation, as she dresses like an anime character from Japan. So everyone's done with this. Elon bought Twitter and stopped banning people for criticizing these professional
I'm gonna go
victims.
camping,
And
chat.
because
I'm
of
gonna
that,
go
all of the
camping.
other social media sites had to stop doing that to compete. So, Courtney, maybe it's time to learn how to ignore criticism that you don't like, or respond to it in the coliseum of ideas, instead of using the typical radical leftist below-the-belt cancel culture tactics, because those don't work anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me
Yeah.
on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Definitely check this guy out. He makes great content. I've watched a couple of his videos in the past.
I just
before
wish there
you
was something like a
sleep.
doof.
Yeah, I'm already subbed. Yeah, I'll link the video. I agree with him completely. I'm so sick of people using their like identities or their made up mental issue, or they probably do have mental issues, but their made up self-diagnosis as a way to dodge responsibility or like victim cry, like what this woman is currently doing. It's so pathetic. It's pathetic. It's awful. Anyways, yeah. Okay.